will, to be my best self, to live my best life, to offer all the good that I can, I share with you out loud during the midday moment. It's just a moment. That's it. Just as you need your physical exercises so that your body can show up when and where you need it to and function appropriately and successfully, you need your spiritual exercises so that your soul can show up and function as you need it to function. The soul we call the mind. It includes, rather, the mind, your thoughts, the intellect, how you filter those thoughts, your heart, your feelings, which are so important to navigate life, and your will, how you act out, how you make decisions. All of those components of the soul, they work together, and it's important that you feed your soul spiritual exercises. And so the midday moment is really just me sharing from my spiritual exercises, my combination of prayer work, meditation work, study work, reflection work, and we do have a specific language for that. I'm going to share it with you very briefly. So for example, in January, we focused on, gave some acknowledgement to the prayer work of visioning, visualization, and dreaming. So a lot of people do like vision boards or manifestation boards. So we incorporate that as a part of our prayer practice too. February, we highlighted fellowship, networking, and mentoring. Mentoring is a part of your prayer work. Yes, networking is a part of your prayer work, and fellowshipping as well. In March, we highlighted reading, studying, and researching, specifically scripture, but anything. Give yourself to research, study. Don't just, pick something, just go about talking about stuff that you haven't given any thought to. You didn't read anything. Learning how to read what we might even call quality information that, it's been cooked up a little bit. In academia, we call it peer reviewed, but really just taking time to study, reflect, read a little bit, read a paragraph, a book, something. Okay. In April, we highlighted fasting, forgiving, and feasting. I like to say, if you just fasting but you're not forgiving, you just mean and hungry. So we highlighted what it meant, what it means to put all of that together, to give yourself to a time of fasting, forgiving, and feasting, knowing what you're feasting, putting in your body. I enjoyed the question when Dr. Pulley asked, what are you eating? When are you eating? Why are you eating? And what's eating at you? I'm still working on some of that. Okay. This month, we highlighted in our prayer work scriptures, denials, and affirmations. And so, an example is you take a scripture that ministers to you, like Psalm, I'm going to say Psalm, I think it's 146 or 149. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That might be 139, Psalm 139. I forget what verse, but I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and that my soul knows right well. So that's a scripture, and I can take that scripture as a truth for my life and then work on a denial. I am not the negative stuff that people said. So I'm denying that. I am not. I'm getting rid of that negative thought. I am not what other people said I was. Somebody said I was too ambitious to even have a relationship. And those kinds of things, when people say that and you don't know how to clear that out, it affects you. And so I've had to work with that over the years. Nope, that is not true. And then, so scripture, denial, I'm not what other people said about me, the negative stuff. I don't receive it. And then you affirm what you do receive for your life. So I do embrace the fact that I am a divine expression in the earth, and that I have done the best I knew to do at different times of my life. I forgive myself for not being, I forgive myself for doing my best. That's all I knew to do, and that's what I did. Anything else that was in good order, I didn't know to do it, so I forgive myself. And that which I knew to do and didn't do, I forgive myself. And I move on to embrace the good that I deserve, to embrace the relationships that I deserve in my life. Okay. So that's just a little sample of that. Okay. So that's some of our prayer work. So I don't always give that kind of specification in the midday moment, but I thought to just kind of share, because usually I just talk about prayer in general, meditation in general, but there are very specific definitions for that. Okay. So anyways, as I do that kind of work for me, in my own personal time, I then come and share some of the results from that. And so, included in the reading, studying, remember that the reading, studying, and meditation. So one of the readings that I participate in is called the Daily Inspiration for Better Living, and it is published by the Universal Foundation for Better Living Incorporated, out of Miami Gardens, Florida. And so I put this on the on my midday moment page in case you desire to incorporate this as a part of your prayer practice in the reading, the studying, and the researching. Okay. It's another way of reading, researching, and studying inspirational knowledge, scripture, different observations, different perspectives. And so I've included this as a part of my prayer work. So all this week I'm sharing from the Daily Inspiration. Next week, I'm going to be sharing from Kingdom 365, that was published by Dr. Gerard Arpuli. So I'm going to share with that all next week. So this week, the Daily Inspiration. So I copied today's because there's a reading for every day. So I copied today's reading for May 26th called The Power of Culture. So I've copied it. You can go back and pull it up and read it because I won't read it all here. But the power of culture. Culture is simply a way of life. It's what you do. It's so routine. We rarely even think of it as culture because it's just a part of what we do, what we've been socialized to do, what we learn from our family. There's family culture. My mom and dad, David and Bevel and Jones, they've created for us a unique family culture. So certain way we tell jokes, a certain way we laugh, what we laugh at, what we don't laugh at, okay? When we gather, and how we gather, the foods we cook and so forth. All of that is a part of our culture. Just expectations, things that we do, we won't even think about, just things we do, okay? So that's a part of family culture. I'm thinking of something kind of funny. I went on a date with a gentleman who had on a t-shirt, plain t-shirt. It was a casual little movie date. Took my nieces with me, just a little casual something. But honey, he was way too casual for them, and they later told me they don't like him because he doesn't even wear a real shirt. And I thought about it. The men in my family, we got a little culture about our dress. So my siblings, all of my siblings, my dad, they rarely wear even t-shirts. I mean, it's not that they're too good for it, it's just, I don't know, that's just what we do. So they wear a lot of polo shirts. If it's a t-shirt, it's a nice t-shirt, really nice a dressy t-shirt. But they wear a lot of nice shirts, button up, little collar or polo or something like that. That's what they're accustomed to. That's a part of our part of our family culture. So culture is just what you do. But here is what was really important in the reading. It's important that you be open to surveying when your culture. I'm going to read this part because this was really good. When you know that your culture connects you to the worthiness of who you are as a spiritual being, and when your culture trains you to shrink and feel that you're not enough. You gotta know. It's so important. It's so important that that you know the difference of that. Hey y'all, it's so good to see y'all. Hey April, good to see you today, beautiful one. So it's important that you know that you study that you reflect on when it's not it's okay to have culture. You're gonna have it. Matter of fact, whether you know it or not, you have culture. I've had students in my classroom, particularly my white American students, say, "Well, white people don't have a culture." Yes, you do. Much of what we call the American culture is white American culture, is white culture. And we also have within that, cultural influences, African American culture, Latinos, Asian, and so on and so forth. Okay. So what the reading encourages you to do, because culture, your way of being, your way of doing, it's very impactful. It's very impactful. It defines how you navigate and make decisions. And so this part of the reading really stuck out for me. Some parts of our culture bless us and connect us to the worthiness of who we are as spiritual beings. And there are other parts that train us to feel less than. So it's important that you study when you're doing something. I'll give you an example. In my family culture, because there were 6 kids, my parents raised 6 kids, mom, dad, 6 kids, and they had blue collar jobs. Okay. They had blue collar jobs. My dad worked for the bus. In later years, he worked for it was called Heartline. They just call it Heart now, the Hillsborough Area Regional Transit. So it's the city bus line. So my daddy drove city bus, and he worked as a dispatcher. My mom worked at the main library downtown Tampa to process books. So they had blue collar jobs raising 6 kids. So there were a lot of things we did for survival. Period. It's for survival. So school shopping, or clothes shopping. Clothes shopping wasn't just, come on, y'all, let's just go buy a new outfit because we deserve it. No. You got one or two outfits to start the school season with. That was about it. And we did a lot of hand-me-downs, and then we were also blessed from other families. My grandmother, my aunt, they blessed us, but it wasn't, we didn't shop just to buy clothes, and my mother made a lot of our clothes in our earlier days, which I'm so grateful for. I have pictures of it. So cute. But why do I give that example? Because that was a part of our family culture, surviving. And I must be careful in my now adult culture, that I don't allow that experience to shrink me, and then I not invest in myself. I have a challenging time sometimes investing in myself because it wasn't a part of my childhood culture. It wasn't a part of my childhood culture. And I'm not trying to make a god out of shopping. I'm just saying, that was foreign for me. And so now that I can afford to, invest in myself and support a presentation, and buy an outfit or two, more than once a year, sometimes I have to remind myself. Yeah, the way we shared food, in our family culture, it was a lot of it was survival. And I bless God for my mom and my dad, because they gave us so much more than what they had. They gave us such a foundation of faith and collaboration and all of that. And at the same time, I get to add to that. And so I give you those examples to encourage you. Yes, you may have a family culture, you may have a church culture, you have an educational culture, a religious culture, a financial, whatever. You have all of that. But if the way in what you do shrinks you, you gotta do this because that's what the family did. You gotta do this because grandma did it this way. You gotta do this because that's what Americans did before you. If what you're doing shrinks you to living a life that is less than, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Oh, I need to take this call. Get rid of it. Make an adjustment. Listen, I love you. I bless you. Give me 1 second. I'm on my way. I love you. I bless you. I really need to take this call, but that's the end of my midday moment, anyways. I love you. I bless you. And make sure you pay attention to when your culture lifts you versus when your culture shrinks you. All right. I love you. God bless you. God be you. Take care, everybody. Don't be stingy. Like and share.